Good evening, guys. How are you all doing tonight? Welcome to Monday night's Navitas International Weekly Training Call. I'm super pumped and excited to have this call on tonight. I hope everyone's had an amazing weekend. Hello to my friends in Sydney, or everyone in Perth, and everywhere around the world as well. Hope you guys enjoyed tonight. So tonight, we have myself as the host, also training on essentials and the importance of essentials. Then we have our Sam on inviting skills. And then we have David Bolton from Perth on mindset as well. Really excited for this, guys. It's absolutely, these guys have taken the time to create the trainings for tonight, and I've seen it all, and I'm really excited for you guys to see it as well. So pumped for that. Now, this week's recognition, new associates for the week. Congratulations, guys. Welcome Madison Ridge, Reese Morgan, Charlotte Sutherland, Kevin Tran, Tyler Wilson, and Jack Davidson. Congratulations, guys, and welcome to the family. I'm really excited to meet any of you that I haven't met yet and get you guys on the roll. New rank advancements. Congratulations to new believer Wade Sletton. It's absolutely amazing. First milestone in the business and so many more great achievements to come. It's absolutely exciting, Wade. Congratulations. And then we have new builders, Tyler Jorgensen. Sorry if I said that wrong. Congratulations. Absolutely excited for more to come from you as well. As I said, these are absolute amazing milestones in the business, and they're just little transits waiting on the bigger stuff to come, and I'm so excited for more from you guys. Congratulations. We have top enrollees for the week. So top associate enrollers. These are all number 29 on the charts, and this is number 29 in the nation. And we have a lot of people in the nation, right? Number 29 is an absolute achievement. So congratulations to Kevin Tran, Mark Zell, Tyler Jorgensen, and Wade Sletton. Absolutely amazing. We have top PC enrollers. Number 17, Mark Zell. Congratulations, Mark. Number 17 in the nation. And that's just absolutely amazing. You guys are absolutely smashing it out. And it's going to be, I can't wait to see more from you guys. Absolutely amazing. You guys are doing great. We have top action takers for the week. Wade Sletton, Reese Morgan, and Kevin Trent. Absolutely amazing, guys. Congratulations for taking the most action. And we know that action is the only thing to take us to where we want to be. And Kevin, congratulations on your health goals that you achieved this week. Absolutely amazing. And action is literally the only thing that can get you to your goals, guys, and help you achieve your why as well in the business. We have top income earners for the week. So top earning silver director, number 8, David Bolton. Congratulations, David. That's number 8 in the whole nation. That's amazing. And this week's special mention. So Brad and Sarah, a very special mention to our amazing Brad and Sarah, who invested their time and effort into coming to Perth. Thank you to you both for continuously taking the time out of your schedule to be here in Perth with us, helping us grow and to continuously develop as well. The hard work you both do behind closed doors speaks aloud, and the huge growth in the team each week is a true reflection of both of your commitment and drive. Hope you two are having an amazing time over in Bali. We've seen photos of you guys and can't wait to have you guys back here in Perth. Now, I'm going to be taking it away with the essentials. Just bear with me one sec while I change slides. All right, so product training, we have the essentials tonight from me. So guys, to maintain optimal health, we need a variety of vitamins, minerals, bioflavonoids, and other micronutrients in the correct amounts. So in the right balance and in the proper forms that are high in quality and they're highly absorbable by the body. But obtaining these nutrients solely from the diet has become a struggle, especially with today's hectic lifestyle and nutrient depleted food source. So when it comes to the food being depleted now, most people know that we can't get our nutrients from food like we used to, right? So you know how they say the daily dose of fruit and veg was like, I don't know, 5 and 3 or something like that when we were younger, 5 fruit and 2, 3, something like that, 2 veggie. Now it's like the numbers increased, right? And the thing is that the daily dose that we're supposed to have of these nutrients and vitamins and minerals, these were made around back during World War II. So You know how they used to say that we need X amount to get our vitamin C? Well, the daily dose of vitamin C you needed to get back in World War II was only half a lime. So if you cut half a lime and had half a lime, you'd get your daily dose of vitamin C. That isn't possible today. And the reason why is because the soil is becoming more and more depleted. It's only got 3 minerals out of 52. And when the soil is depleted, the plant's going to become depleted, meaning the fruit's going to become depleted, and then we eat the fruits and vegetables, and then what happens to that? So getting the nutrients from diet has become a massive struggle for everyone. So what are the essentials, and what do they do? So the essentials are a combination of 2 products packaged as one, right? So we have a mega antioxidant, which is a comprehensive formula of high potency vitamins, antioxidants, and other nutrients designed for every adult, every day for prevention of nutrition deficiencies, and to counteract the damaging effects of free radicals. So free radicals are molecules that cause deterioration of the body's cells, which cause diseases later on in the body, so oxidation. Then we have the multi-mineral. So this is a fully spectrum blend of essential minerals and trace elements in a balanced and highly bioavailable formulation. So when taken together, these supplements complete the nutritional foundation for every adult. Meaning that basically, pretend our bodies are like houses. This is the wall, the slab, the foundation that maintains our immune system and our health. So when it comes to the mega antioxidant, just a bit more in depth about what it actually is. So guys, daily stress and environmental pollutants bombard us with ever more free radicals than ever in our lives, and ever in history as well, especially in this day and age. So diets are now high in processed foods, there are fewer whole foods that we eat, and foods are becoming more and more unrefined. And that may increase the need for antioxidant supplementation, and it does. So mega antioxidant offers advanced levels of high quality, highly bioavailable antioxidants to meet this increased need that our body needs. So mega antioxidant offers nutritional support for healthy circulation, the blood vessels, and healthy protection from environmental toxins, optimal vision, and a sound immune system, meaning a healthy all-round immune system. Now the multi-mineral, so minerals and trace elements represent less than 1/2 of 1% of the total nutrients we consume every day. Yet without them, our bodies would be unable to efficiently use carbohydrates, proteins, and fats in our diet. So if you think about it, if we're not getting the right multi-minerals, our body's not even able to process those carbs and proteins and fats we're consuming in our diet. So minerals play an essential role in the body. And it's crazy because I never actually knew this, and until the past year, I never knew how important minerals actually were in the body. So many vitamins and enzymes actually need a mineral cofactor for proper function. So things, minerals go with minerals, minerals go with enzymes, vitamins go with enzymes, things go together, right? So minerals found in the multi-mineral are zinc, selenium, magnesium, chromium, iodine, copper, and manganese. So for example, when you're taking calcium, magnesium goes with it really well, right? And then we have vitamin D that goes with calcium. It all goes together. And the thing about the multi-mineral and the multi-antioxidant, so the essentials together, the thing that you guys should understand about it is that not only does it give your body the right nutrients your body needs, but it also gives your body the right nutrients it needs to absorb more nutrients from the food you're eating, right? So an example is that I've been vegetarian for the past year and a few months, as some of you know. So last March I cut out cow meat, lamb, and chicken. And then after a year, I took a blood test to see how everything was going, and the doctor was like, everything's fine. Your irons are high, this is high, this is high. He's like, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm supplementing. He's like, well, are you eating like crazy amounts of spinach and crazy amounts of salads? I'm like, I'm not. I'm eating everything the same as I used to. I just took away the meats. But what I did was I supplemented with the multi-mineral and multi-antioxidant. And I said to him, I was like, it's not the fact that some people supplement, right? But if the diet isn't right, it's not going to go together. The diet has to be right as well. And I was like to him, the reason why everything's okay in the body right now after cutting out the meats is because the essentials helped my body absorb more nutrients from the food I was eating. So it really helps with that. And it's crazy because if you give your body the right tools, it can defend itself against anything. Literally, our bodies are basically a self-healing machine if you give it the right tools. Right, guys? So think about it. Have you taken your daily dose of essentials today? I hope you guys have. That's the end of my presentation, guys. I'm going to pass it over to Sam now. He's going to take it over inviting. So I hope you guys enjoy that. Take it away, Sam.
Thanks, Sina. That was a great presentation as well. I'll just share my screen and then get you to tell me when you can see it. You see my screen?
Yep, all good, Sam.
Okay, awesome. Hey guys, happy Monday. Tonight I've been asked to share on inviting, which I'm really excited about. So I'll just get straight into things. So first thing I want to focus on is, why is inviting an important skill to develop? And notice I've underlined develop. That's because you really just can't expect to have perfect inviting skills from the beginning, and that's not something you want to get nervous about. All of us that have been in the business for quite a while will look back at our old invites and be amazed at how much our skills have grown, and we'll sort of cringe a little bit at our old invites, but that's okay. And you've got to know that, you can't be perfect from the beginning, and that this is a learning process. One thing that I definitely suggest is being open to sharing your invites with your mentor, especially if you have an unsuccessful one. So you might think, oh no, this invite didn't turn out too well, I'm not going to show anyone that. But if you show someone your unsuccessful invites, maybe there's something that you didn't notice that you could change, and your mentor might give you some feedback on how we can avoid how we can make it a bit more successful the next time. Or maybe not, maybe you didn't do anything wrong at all. It's really good just to get feedback and be open to feedback all the time. I still send David a lot of stuff for feedback, because we're all growing and we always want to be growing. So inviting is one of our core skills, and I think that it's so important to master, because we don't want someone not to choose to take a look because of poor skills. And obviously, building this business, the foundation of it is is inviting people to take a look at the opportunity. So before inviting, we obviously have to strike up a conversation. With our friends, this is easy because we talk to them all the time. But I've been asked how to do it for people you've never really talked to before or don't talk to often. So I'll be focusing mainly on Facebook for these skills, because I find, especially for people that are newer in the business, it's the easiest way to invite, because there is that lag time and it is a bit less daunting and that sort of thing. So when we start up a conversation with someone, especially someone you rarely talk to or you don't know too well, you want to give them a reason why you're talking to them, but in an unobvious way. So for instance, instead of saying, hey, how are you? You could say something like, hey, I just saw your newest photos. Where were they taken? I love them. Think of it as if it was you. If someone that you never spoke to before just said, hey, how are you? You'd wonder, why are they talking to me? Or what made them strike up conversation? I mean, we have hundreds of friends on Facebook, so you'd be thinking sort of, why are they talking to me? Not because we're mean people, it's sort of just naturally what we'll wonder. So by saying, hey, I saw your last status, or hey, was that restaurant you went to nice? Or something like that, it will take away the sort of skepticism and that sort of thing, and people will, the conversation will come up more naturally and that sort of thing as well. So remember, always bring up that you've started something new. The last thing you want to be doing is forming up someone for, a whole day or a week or however long it takes, and then inviting them to take a look at a business you've started which you haven't even mentioned. They'll just be thinking, what business, what did you start, that sort of thing. So at the start of almost every conversation, without a doubt, there will be a question like, what have you been up to, what's new, how's work, something like that. So this is your opportunity to mention business. So you can't just say nothing much. and then expect them to take you seriously when you invite them to see an opportunity. So you could say something like, I've just been working and I actually just partnered with a business person to whatever you want to say, so tailor it to their hotspot. So it might be to just gain a bit more control of my income, or you could say, I've partnered with a business person who's teaching me how to blank. Or if you've been in the business a bit longer, you can say something like, I've been great, just stepped away from my job actually. Last year I started building up my income from home, and now I'm working full-time for myself. But you always want to bring it up and you always want to stay consistent, because otherwise, when you get the hotspots from the prospect and you invite them, they won't know what you're talking about. So you'll also find that your answers change through your business. So obviously now that I'm a year down the track in my business, I wouldn't say I've just partnered up with someone. But I might say something like, I've been great, just working on a few projects with friends. We're all about to book America for business. How about you? How's work? So I've put there as well, always end in a question. So an example is, what about you? Or how's work for you? That sort of thing. Because by doing that, you're keeping control of the conversation and you're the one sort of putting it in the direction that you want it to go. So if you guys have pen or paper or have your laptops on or anything like that, I'd recommend writing in your notes as a little bit of homework to put together a good answer to what have you been up to. And you can share that with us if you want some feedback, or just so that you're prepared. So instead of just saying not much, same old, you have an answer that will sort of intrigue your prospects and get them asking more questions and that sort of thing. So my next slide is listen to the prospect. This is so important. We learn in basic training, we always want to be positive. If they say, I work at Macca's, you never want to say something like, oh, that must be terrible, or something like that. We'd say something like, oh, wow, how long have you been working there? They must be treating you heaps good for being so loyal to the company. But we need to understand is that it is okay to empathize with people. So sometimes when all we're thinking about is booking appointments, we can go into salesy mode. So a few times I've been reading conversations and the prospect will be saying, this really terrible thing has happened, so I'm working on changing it. And our reply might be something like, oh, awesome, but at least you're looking for a change, because we're excited that they're about to look at the opportunity, that sort of thing. But, what you got to understand is it's okay to sort of not always be so positive and just empathize with them a little bit. So if they say something crappy happens, say, I'm so sorry to hear that. That must be tough. That's wonderful that you're acting on it, though. What have you been doing to change it? So you're still being understanding and you're still asking them questions about it and being positive, focusing on that they're willing to change it and that sort of thing. But we want to be real. Our prospects will know if we're being real or not. And if you don't sort of be a bit down to earth and tell them, when I lost my job, because I'm not sure if a lot of you know that I was actually made redundant from my job, I wasn't like, when people talk to me, I wasn't like, oh, I'm great, I'm completely in charge of my income. I said to them at first, it's going to be tough to build income, but it's going to be so worth it and that sort of thing, because you want to show people that you're real and relatable and that sort of thing. So things to know before inviting. Number one is hotspots, and this is obviously the main one, and we do this through form as we learn about in basic training, so I probably won't go through that too much. And I also put, it helps to know their schedule before locking in the appointment. Obviously this isn't compulsory and you don't have to know this, but it's helpful to ask questions like, are you working full time, are you studying, or that sort of thing, so you sort of have an idea of when they'll be free, so that it makes it a lot easier to lock the appointment in when it's time to lock the appointment in. Again, it's not 100% relevant, but it is sort of a trick that has helped me lock in appointments much easier, because you want to lock the appointment and you want it to be as hassle-free as possible. So when you're going back to hotspots, when your prospect gives you a hotspot, I wouldn't suggest jumping on it right away. So I've given two examples on this slide. I'm not sure if you guys can, I know that sometimes it goes a bit blurry, but on the left is an example of, the prospect says, work sucks, to be honest, man, not loving it, what about you? And then you could jump on it right away and said, really? Well, I've just partnered up with someone and they're looking for sharp people, blah, 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 and invite them. But we tend to be a bit skeptical when people want to help us right away without sort of our permission. So an alternative to that would be to answer with something like, if he said, work sucks, to be honest, man, not loving it, what about you? I'd say something like, really, I'm so sorry to hear that, man. How come you're not loving it? You want to dig a bit deeper. Like David will talk about a bit later about finding your why and that sort of thing. We really want to dig deeper. So you could say, how come you're not loving it? I've been good. Hey, was getting a bit sick of doing the same thing day in and day out. So I actually just partnered with someone who's teaching me how to build up my income from home. I have huge travel goals and my job just wasn't getting me any closer to achieving them. You still playing soccer? So again, I've ended it in a question, as I've said to do earlier, and you're taking control of the situation, and by ending it in a question, it doesn't sound like you're trying to sell them anything or trying to get them to ask questions about what you do or anything like that. It's like you're, in a way, careless, but in a nice way. I don't know the word to use to describe it, but you don't want to be needy kind of thing. So the prospect might say something like, really, that sounds awesome doing from home. So you can tell that they're interested. And they say, to be honest, I feel the same, sick of doing the same thing over and over again, feeling like I'm not getting anywhere. So they've given you even deeper into their hot spots, and that's what you really want. And then for us newies that have just started, you could say something like, to be honest, I'm in training right now, but I just started to educate myself on the economy and financial reality today, and I saw that people weren't really seeing success taking the traditional path anymore, so I kept myself open to opportunity. Are you open to new ways to generate income if it doesn't interrupt with what you're currently doing? And then they'll either say yes or no. So in this case, we've got a positive prospect that says, sure am, man. So he's literally, you've asked him for permission to invite him and he's given you permission. So it takes away the skepticism completely. And then I just put an example of an invite. So you could say something like, awesome, my mentor has seen incredible success for his age. He's his own boss at 21 years old and mentors Gen Ys all over Australia on how to set and achieve their personal goals. He's a pretty busy guy, but if I could get him to set aside some time to share what he does with you, would you be open to taking a look? And then, we assume that they're going to say they're open again, and you lock in the time. So by doing this, you can see that we've digged deeper and really found out why he's not liking his job. So we can tailor the invite really specifically to them, because you don't know whether they don't like their job because of the poor pay or because they're mean boss or because, the hours or anything like that. So we really want to find out why. So golden phrases. So these are good things to say and sort of really good things to remember when you're inviting. So the first one is just partner with a business person. So again, this takes the credibility off of us and puts it onto someone else, as we learn through training. So by doing this, it avoids having to answer all the questions on the spot and takes all the credibility off you, because we really want to edify. If I ... would you ... So again, we learn this in training, but if I was going to do something for you, would you do this back? So for instance, if I said, will you come meet with my mentor? It's nowhere near as powerful as, if I could get my mentor to set aside some time to meet with you, would you be open to meeting him? Which takes me to the next one. Are you open? Or just the word open in general. So rarely people will want to admit that they're closed or say that they're closed. So when you ask, are you open? The answer is almost always yes. So you might ask, are you open to other ways of generating income? Rarely people will say no. And again, it's just like a way of getting them to give you permission to invite them. Always give 2 times. So this just saves the hassle of trying to lock in a time and then it not going in and locking in another time, because it tends to make us look a bit more desperate. So if you say to someone, how's 6 p.m? and they say, no, I can't do 6 p.m. and then you say, how's 7 p.m? They say, no, I can't do 7 p.m. So we usually say, I can do 6 p.m. or 7 p.m. What's easier for you? And then they'll generally choose one if they really can't do a time, but then it gives you an opportunity to give 2 other times. But it's a much more efficient way of doing it rather than doing one time at a time until we finally find one. And then again, what's easier for you is the next line that's really good to use, rather than which one can you do, because they might say, oh, I can't do any at all. It's just sort of a way of saying, you know, you've got to pick one of those in a nice way. So which one is easier for you? And again, always edify. So when we edify, we want to edify time, we want to edify our mentor, so that no time is wasted, and it makes us seem very professional and efficient. I did a training a while back on edifying, so I'm not going to go too much into this, because you can just jump onto the previous training and look at the that one if you want to know more about edifying. But that's such an important skill to develop as well. So it's words or less effective phrases. So the first one I've put USANA. So not that this is nothing against the company or anything like that. We all know USANA is a wonderful company. The thing to remember is when you're inviting, you're edifying the mentor. When you're presenting, you're edifying USANA. So if you say to someone, I've just partnered with a company called USANA, then most likely, especially if they have a bit of analyzer in them, they're going to jump online and have a look at the company and make the decision whether it's for them or not on the spot without seeing the presentation. So we know presenting is another core skill, and that's one of the main things we have to do in this business. It's a whole other skill. So when we invite, we edify the mentor, and when we present, we edify USANA. That's so important to remember. I have just started my own. So again, this is just like the opposite of what I was saying earlier. You want to say you've partnered with someone other than taking all the credibility on yourself. The only time when it's, I'd say, time to take the credibility on yourself is when you're full-time and you're presenting for yourself. So that's when you can take the credibility, but until while someone else is presenting for you, you always edify them instead. That way, it avoids sort of people asking questions and all the questions being put on you. You can just say, look, I'm new, but you know, my mentor's got this time free where he can talk you through it and that sort of thing. So we'll wait till then to go over it or that sort of thing. So I've put meeting, seminar, or presentation, mainly because these sort of things sound like they happen over and over again. So for instance, meeting, they'll just think, oh, I might not be able to make this one, I'll come to the next one. They sound like things that are repetitive, not things that are like exclusive. So for one-on-ones, we always use the word appointment. And for events, I usually use exclusive event rather than just event to make us sound special and exclusive. So appointment also sounds much more personal as well. Meeting, seminar, or presentation sounds like there might be more people involved and it doesn't sound very personal. We want our prospects to know that it's going to be a personal appointment to talk about their needs. And then what time's good for you? So this isn't a good thing to say because one, if you've edified your mentor and then you're asking your prospect what time's good for them, it makes it sound like your mentor just sits on the couch doing nothing all day and has all the time free in the world. So you don't want to give that control to them as well, because they might say, oh, I'll let you know, and then, you know, life gets quite busy and they probably won't get back to you. So we want to be as efficient as we can time-wise. So again, rather than saying what time's good for you, give them 2 times to choose from. And the last slide is just be an enjoyable person to talk to. So, you know, obviously we want to focus on the positive and be optimistic and excited and listen to our prospect as well. So this is so important. Be someone that you would want to be around. And this just isn't just when you're inviting. This is all the time. So a really good thing that Brad says is, would you follow you? So everyone that you're talking to is a potential team member of yours. So ask yourself, would you follow you and would you want to be on your team? You know, are you gossiping or saying nasty things about other people, or are you bringing people up and, you know, encouraging them and that sort of thing? So be someone that you want to be around, because you want to be attractive to your prospects and you want to be someone that they want to work with. And that's it from me. So I hope you guys learned something. And yeah, that's it. Awesome.
Thank you so much for that, Sam. That was absolutely, I have no words. She's like the inviting queen, guys. And I just want to say thank you to Sam as well, because she's been actually taking time out of her schedule, not only to make this training, but also help me in my inviting skills. Because over time, we get carried away and we think, we know how to invite and everything like that. And then what happened was I changed one little thing in my invitation, and then over time, like this domino effect, my invitation got worse and worse and worse, and I couldn't see it from my own point of view. And then when David and Sam took the time to reflect on what I'd been saying, I realized I was saying totally the wrong things. So it's always good to go back and reflect on what you've been saying, and thinking why is, like, for instance, for example, for me, it wasn't working. Some things weren't working, and I wasn't getting many appointments booked. And I didn't really notice that. I thought I was just, I wasn't looking at the right people. But really, it was my own skills I was lacking in. It was also good to go back and reflect on our skills. So thank you so much for that, Sam. Now, David on mindset. I'm really excited for this. When you're ready, David, take it away.
Thanks, Sina. Yeah, Sam's a queen of inviting, or king of inviting, or whatever. I always ask always ask her for help on inviting still, and I'm a year and 10 months into the business. There's just something that girl knows that no one else knows. So if you guys have if you get really, really stuck and I can't answer something, or your sponsor can't answer something, don't hesitate to shoot it to Sam, because I'm sure she'd be happy to help you guys. Sina, can you just tell me if you can see my screen?
Yep, all good.
All right, sweet. All right, so I'm going to go over mindset. And to be honest, it's so awesome the past few weeks. We've had the privilege of working with a bunch of new team members. And I know how challenging this business can be on an emotional level when first getting started. So I thought it'd be a good idea to go over mindset along with the inviting training. Brad and Sarah are away at the moment, so I thought we'd make this training short, but very full of content and full of valuable information. Short and sweet, but very valuable. So I'm going to go over mindset, and a lot of it's just a lot of the experiences that I've personally had throughout my business, but also what I've found differentiates people that succeed and people that sort of slow down and things like that. And really what I found is this business makes us realize how much negative programming we've had growing up. And when you start to develop and realize this, like these facts, you realize just how negative the people around you are and why it's important to work on your mindset. And to be honest, I'd say if there was one key to persevering in this business, it would be creating a rock solid, untouchable mindset that just filters out negativity, understands challenges, manages emotions, and really is just thirsty for growth and learning and things like that. So I'll start off by talking about two things that I feel that no one can really teach us, but it is essential to succeed in a business like ours. And that is being hungry and having a strong why. So the first question I have for everyone on this training, and everyone in my team, and everyone in Brad's team, and everyone in USANA is, why do you do this business? And the person that can dig deep enough and find a reason that they never give up on is the one that is guaranteed success. And this is just true, because if you never give up and you have a reason to take action every single day, you're going to succeed. That's just how this business works. You either do it or you don't, and whichever one determines whether you'll succeed or not. A good way to establish a true why is to ask yourself why. We know this, we go through this in basic training, then write it down, and then ask but why, then write it down, and then ask but why, and then write it down. You guys probably heard this technique a few times before. And I can say, like, if your why is to just be rich, that's something that you'll give up on, unless your life depends on being rich, which we know it doesn't. So it's so important to find a why, then think about what would happen if you didn't do this business. One of the biggest motivators for myself has been the pain of what I don't want for my life. And knowing that this business is the only true vehicle that can cure that pain for good. If I don't pursue this, I'll be settling for less. So that's what I was thinking when I first started and a few months in. And that if I settle for less, I'm not going to be the man that I say I am, the man that I value being, or the person that I need to be to have the impact and significance that is congruent with my personal why. So that's why it's so important to establish a why and not just write down like goals and declare that your why, but write down what's your reason for existing. And the second one is having hunger. And this is the resulting action of a strong why. So you can tell when someone's hungry, because you can tell when someone's hungry, and you can tell when someone doesn't want it bad enough. The hungry person stays up a few extra hours, plans their day around their business, revenue, always shows up, always has appointments booked, always asks questions, listens to personal development every single day, no excuses, which actually brings me to my next point, and that is daily personal development. Isn't it a funny coincidence that the top earners in our company do the most personal development? They do it every single day. You're probably thinking, like for me, when I heard that fact, I was like, why do they do personal development every day if they're already diamond directors? And the truth behind it is that they know if they aren't growing every day, then they are dying. They understand the value of personal development and learning. And an awesome quote to define this reason would be this quote here: if you could be a diamond director being who you are right now, you would be one already. You have to become a diamond director before you get the title and the badge. As you grow, so does your business. Grow yourself and your business will follow. And we do this by doing personal development every single day. It's really what John C. Maxwell calls the law of the lid. So you've got to grow yourself, not just as a leader, but skills, mindset, everything to really expand what potential growth your organization can have. Another quote is that your business will only grow to the extent of who you are. So the next point is keeping your emotions in check. So I like to point out the negative things in this business, which are just things you can't do anything about. You're going to get people who say no. You're going to get negative feedback from people close to you. You're going to have slow weeks and you're going to have fast weeks. You're going to get objections. You're going to get through and you're going to get hit with big challenges. That's just how it is. But it's not whether this happens or not. That's the point. Like, it's not whether these things happen to you or not that will determine anything. The key is to understand that it's what everyone goes through. I go through it, you go through it, diamond directors still go through it, and it's never going to end, which may be like a sad thought, but you could be a diamond director in this business, presenting to someone in your Lamborghini, and you're still going to get no's. But the diamond directors don't question why. Why do they say no? They work at McDonald's and they don't have the health that they want and don't have this is perfect for them. They just know that that's just the way it is and that's what it takes. And also, they understand that it's worth it. They understand that that's how it happens. That's a system. That's how it works. And they understand that you have to go through that because it's worth it. At the start, whenever I went through a big challenge, I'd be down for like a whole week. And then as I learned and I developed and I was listening to personal development, hearing other people's stories, I cut it down like to a day and then an hour and then 5 minutes. And then now after 30 seconds, I brush it off and get back up. Like literally just before I started talking on this training, I got negative feedback from something that happened in my organization. Within 30 seconds, I'm like, that's right, that's happened. Does that fit in with what normally happens in this business? Yes, then awesome. So our goal right now is to skip all of this negative stuff with you guys, be aware of it, understand it, take notes, and start at the 30 seconds instead of what I went through of downtime after a negative moment or a challenge and things like that. So the key is to not let your emotions fluctuate, because your input to your business will fluctuate when you let that happen, which won't allow your business to grow, which will lead to more emotional nonsense. So my advice is detach yourself from the outcome and attach yourself to taking action, because we know that 80% of our problems in our business are solved by prospecting. So another thing to understand is that people don't need you. Sorry, people need you. You don't need them. At the start, one of the things that took me a while to understand was exactly this. People don't need me. Sorry, people need, oh damn it, I keep getting mixed up. People need me and I don't need them. Some people think like, what? But how will I build my business, if I don't have people? And again, this comes back down to your mindset. So after being in this business a while, you'll understand that no matter what challenges or no's you get, that there is never a limit to being able to grow your business. There's no advantageous positions, no disadvantageous positions, and that it's all up to you, and you'll understand this. And for me, after I've had 500 no's and I'm still growing very well, you'll understand that people really do need you. What you have to offer, this opportunity overall, and that someone saying no to you isn't going to determine your success. But funny enough, it might, however, potentially determine their success. And then the next challenge after that, but you knowing this, is being okay with that fact for their sake, which is something I struggle with today, because the next week they'll post a status about how much they want a holiday away from work, or how much they hate Mondays, or how the doctors suck and didn't help with their depression, etc., etc. So we've just got to bite our teeth and keep moving. When you take the approach that they need you and you don't need them, of course in a non-cocky way, and really know it and believe it, it'll show in your prospecting and your care for other people, and you'll immediately become more attractive just because of that. So when you're taking the approach, just remember, these guys need me. How can I help this person? So the next thing is negative people. By now, I'm sure we all know that it's normal to get negative feedback. In fact, it's pretty much inevitable, but it can still hit your day sometimes and ruin it. And an unsupportive family member can be a massive drag. Just before I go into how I personally deal with this, I want to share with you roughly some of the negative things I've dealt with, just so you guys understand my credibility with negative feedback. So for example, when I started, Mum did every single thing left, right, and center that she could to try and talk me out of it. She wasn't going to lend me the money to start and didn't want me borrowing it from someone else. For the first 8 months into my business, she was very unsupportive and did everything under the sun she could to convince me that it was better to just have a job and rely on this imaginary security that she thinks you get in a job. And that was very difficult when in my first months I'd only earned like a few $100s. You know, you can't prove it to them yet. I've had people's parents contact me and yell at me. Every single one of my family members was unsupportive, and in one case, one person in my family actually bet money that I would fail. They bet money on me that I would fail, and I took that bet. There are still 2 family members to this day that aren't talking to me, and they haven't for about 5 months. Initially, a lot of my friends were negative as well, but now they're a lot more supportive. But one of my biggest ways I overcome these factors was by using it as painful motivation. And personally, I feel this is the biggest thing to kickstarting that growth, kickstarting the big income and making that decision. You know, as I said, I've had everything the book said to me, and I still declared that they were wrong to their face and that I would succeed without any credibility or proof for it at the time. So that gave me accountability and no choice but to prove a lot of people wrong. And another example is when my first order came out, I had no funds to put towards it. So I sold games and items in my room to pay for my order. I could have used this to hold me back, like this fact to hold me back, but instead I used it as urgency to generate income. The next cycle, Usana income paid for my order, and I also profited as well. So understanding the value of order is one thing with this, and that was the key for me, because it was really one of the most important aspects of my business, and I've never missed one order to this day. And I think that's just having that commitment is a massive thing, contributing to everything. Another thing I found was important was this quote, and it says that you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. I knew this was true, but the difficult thing was dealing with and considering the fact that I was around negative people all day, you know, every single day, my family, things like that. And my way around this was to hang around my upline as much as possible and literally drown myself in motivational audios and personal development every single day. So I turned my inner circle from negative people into Robert Kiyosaki, Jim Rohn, Eric Worre, more Jim Rohn, and company leaders and things like that, and just videos and stuff. And if you guys are unsure about what to listen to next or what you should be listening to every day, just contact your upline and ask them. So before I finish off, I want to point out something I've observed throughout this business in the next part, which is there is 2 times you'll start this business. This is what Jordan Kemper put up as a status, funny enough, one time. And it was one, was when you sign up, which most people think is just when you start your business and that's it. And then the second is when you truly commit to your business. You know, this is where you sign a flag in the ground, you set that 10-year mental commitment to building your empire, showing up to everything and all events, listening to personal development every day, booking a minimum of 3 presentations per week, always showing up on time, writing down goals, listening to every single training, hitting those goals, coming to international convention and everything else that comes along with, building the business. And my question is to you guys, if you can't commit to your own business, do you think that people will commit to building their own business in a team with you as their mentor? Biggest question I had as well for myself when I was going through tough times was like, man, like people, I'm getting a lot of no's. I'd think like, would I say yes to me? Am I marketing myself on Facebook well? Would a successful person like this and comment on this, or would they share this? How would they do this, or how would they think towards this? And sometimes when everything's challenging and running you down and nothing is going right, your commitment will be the only thing. Sometimes, the absolute only thing that will keep you going. So, and it's so true as well. And this is, by the way, guys, a lot of this is all in John C. Maxwell's 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership, if you want to give that a read. So yeah, that's almost all from me. I've committed to all of you guys for your benefit. I'm loving the commitment I've seen already in the team. Everything's going so well. I'm loving the growth of the new leaders, the new team members, and the everyone in the team in Perth and in Sydney as well. So let's see everyone commit to themselves and their own future. I'll pass it back to Sina. Actually, I was thinking if you guys have any questions, we can stay on because we've got a little bit of time to kill. We maybe stay on for an extra 7 minutes if you guys have, or 5 minutes, and if you guys have any questions, just put them in the chat box regarding Sam's training, regarding any troubles you might be having, and we can answer them while we're on here because, why not? But Sina, for now, I'll pass it back to you, and if we get any questions, then we'll answer it one by one.
Thank you so much for that, David. Thank you. That was, I can't even know words. That was great, and I can't even add anything to that because that was spot on, and what he said was so true. I totally agree with that. And thank you so much, David, for taking the time to make this training. And David and Sam have been helping me this week as well, and so many people around Perth have been helping me during this busy time, and they still put the time in to make this training for you guys and beyond tonight. So thank you so much for that, you guys. That was absolutely awesome. So if you guys have any questions, just type them in the chat box. I know there's a bit of a time like. No questions?
There is a little bit of lag time.
Yeah, all right. Oh, and if you guys have any amazing stories about your experiences on the essentials, if you know anyone that's on the essentials and they have really awesome testimonies, just shoot me a message, and I would love to hear it from you guys. How the essentials have benefited you guys and how it's turned around your health as well. So that'll be awesome to hear from you guys. The recording will be posted up around 10 minutes after training, Jake, so no worries with that. That's right, Olivia. Hope you enjoyed it. Thank you for being on the call.